Yeah, a the big bad black sheep, hot of fire, not a pretender or liar. And it's a serious reasoning. Now, I hope that you're well, and I hope that you tune in long enough to see if anything is insightful to you. Now, give thanks, yeah, to Mother God, the Almighty, truly. So, this topic is about energy and transmutation. Yeah, so tune in. Now, I am not a woman that loves drama, but I sure can stir the fucking pot. You see, I've talked about almost being unalive and set up by Miss Watson and the Rastafari community. But when she tried what she tried with her daughter, and that never go as planned, she decided to send another artist girl by the name of Tam Tam to invite me to this club called Mecca. Now, there is no coincidence in that for me, because I remember one time I was invited, right? I was at Miss Watson's house, right? So, me being there, she was invited to this couple's party, and I went, yeah, with her and her children. So me being at that party, and I met the couple. What was weird to me was that the woman, and she seems like she's probably bisexual. But anyway, this woman came up to me, she gave me a hug and was telling me that she would give me anything I want. I should just take my number from Miss Watson and call her anytime. Now, I heard what I heard, but I also heard something different. And I know an offer like that comes with strings or something else. Whatever it is, I was never interested to find out. Now, me being at that party, I remember Miss Watson's daughter came to me and was suggesting the club to me, Mecca, and that if I ever heard about it, and probably one day she will bring me. But I noticed that I switched in facial expression after she said that suggestion. So fast forward to the phone call from Tam Tam, the artist girl. She called me one day to invite me to perform, and the way she was conversing, I saw right through it. Yeah, you are trying to get me out of my safe zone, come to this strange place, yeah, to hang with some other females where she say is so-called queens, and I declined. Now, the way how these females operate, they operate like high school children. They like to gossip and even to rage bait, fights and, triangulation. So, in my response to Tam Tam, I said, right now, the Almighty have me on a different journey. So I have to just sit my ass down. Really. So yeah. After all of that play out, you know, of course more gossiping and all of that shit. But what I have to say is this. You see, in 2025, in around this time, I was doing my videos and I was speaking out. I got a call from Miss Watson. And that call was strange. Because, for one, she was talking almost like me. She was like copying the way I was speaking and the phrases that I were using. So I know she was watching. And the next thing that gave her away. Because if you know you didn't do anything wrong, why are you trying to do damage control? You never come to me and say, stop lying on me. You never come to me with none of that. Yeah. But I see you going around trying to do damage control to save your reputation. But yeah, she called me and I was like, Taffy, you alright? I love you, and all of that shit. Yeah, and I was just listening. Let her just speak and just reveal herself. Yeah. So, and it was a strange number. It wasn't even her number that she used to call me, Miss Watson. And because I blocked her, yeah. But when I hung up the phone that night, I blocked that number. So, a few days later now, what a Tam Tam called me. She and another artist girl called Space. Now, they were calling me, talking about they haven't seen me for a while and all of that. But they know what they were doing behind my back. Yeah? And they were smiling in my face. So, yeah, the silence was awkward. You could feel the tension. They didn't have much to say. And I didn't have much to say either. See? Now, these people do some very underhanded things to psychologically mess with people. But they mess with the right one, you know? Me. Because I have the clarity for y'all. Now, I see your Tam Tam. I see your song, you know, talking about you laugh and you smile while telling lies, created suicide. Like, I know you dumb bitch. You want to see me down, dead. You will never see that. Yeah? You copy everything that I do in my music and try to do it. Yeah? You try everything to get me out of the spotlight, and I gave it to you. And you're still watching me, still trying to copy the way I write my music and sing. Baby girl, my advice to you is to do some real soul searching, because biting off of another person will never bring you far, and not as far as you think you can go. Yeah. The song that I did about presence and peace, she tries to copy that. No, I doubt you have been through anything for you to even relate to that song. right? But you want my energy so much, and you don't, you think it's such a good thing to have, but you wouldn't want my trials. You wouldn't want my lessons, because those are the things that make me who I am today. See? So copy all you want. You're not gonna go as far as you think you can go. Now, the next thing, I see some other imposters using divine feminine to put on a show. Divine feminine is not an energy you should play with. Yeah? And all of those females who are going along with that plot, when you realize that your fake ass dead end relationships start to collapse, yeah, you will realize the type of energy you conjure up. Because really and truly, divine feminine don't submit to no man. That energy is a disruptor. Yeah? You can't say you're divine feminine and give your power to a man. You don't give your power to no fucking man. You're full of jealousy and competition. Yeah, like these men. And you want to portray yourself as a divine feminine. It's not a look, you dumb bitch. It's not. No. They use a phrase that says a real man can't live without a woman. True.
But it's at a great price.
Y'all need us. But y'all don't respect women. And the artist that sang that line, that man has no control whatsoever over his sex drive. He's a sex addict. And he doesn't respect his relationship either. Yeah? And I know that. And I see him. So put on a show. I hope you have fun. But when your life start get disrupted, just know say a divine feminine energy. Yeah? Now, let's get into the topic. So energy. Energy is defined as the capacity or ability to do work, exert force, cause motion, or produce physical change. It is a conserved quantity, meaning it cannot be created or destroyed, only transferred or transformed between forms such as kinetic, potential, thermal, chemical, or electrical. However, in daily life, energy also refers to a person's vitality, strength, or enthusiasm for physical and mental activity. You people in Rastafari had played with a lot of people energy. Yeah, even mine. And when I said in my last video, the illegal shit that they do, these people con people out of their own resources. Yeah? A lot of them that say that they're holding Nyabingi centers, they do it and they accumulate resources to be shared and they don't share them. Yeah? Some of those resources are land, artwork, money, yeah, etc. A lot of them are thieves. And they're there for their own well-being. They're using Rastafari as a charity event to gather resources for themselves. And I said what I said. And you see people talk about Lila Ike and Coffee and Janine, oh, you know, and Protege and Chronics, and say that they, you know, them this and them that, and them are lesbian, and Chronics and Protege, them uphold with it. Let me tell you this, and let me stir this fucking pot. They are using those people as scapegoats. Yeah? Because you see the real culprit them. And let me tell you this. The person who even spread the rumor about Janine, yeah, was another artist, Queen Africa. Yeah? And who she says Janine was in a relationship with was also ahead in Rastafari, is ahead in Rastafari. Yeah? And this lady, and I've heard from people that were close to her, saying that she sleeps with this couple. One of them is a designer, and the other, the male, is a radio personnel, you know, a poet, a dancer. And I'm telling you, these people, they do same-sex relation undercover. Yeah? And they do swinging. Now, it is alleged that she has slept with this couple. Right? That's their style. Now, they talk about Lila Ike and Coffee and how the elders don't approve of them. Let me tell you this. Hey, let me tell you. I heard from the horse's mouth that Rita is a lesbian. And there are stories about Rita and Minnie that they keep under wraps, right? And this is a lesbian couple. And you know Rita, and I have to say the last name, right? And the horse who told me that is the horse that used to trample on them. And what I mean by trample, he used to beat them until him realized, say, oh, them not change. So him stop. Yeah? So, you know, hope all these elders to a high esteem, but you don't realize they're human beings, right? They have dark desires like everyone else. And majority of the times, they do not have the control over them. They haven't integrated with those shadows. Yeah? Now, the horse that told me that, I respect that man. Yeah? Truly. Him say what he mean, and he mean what him say. You understand? So yeah, I gave you the definition of energy. Let's give you the definition of transmutation. Well, the one that relates to energy transmutation. The kind that where people try to project on you and you take that energy and turn it into something else. So, transmutation. Etymology. Derived from the Latin transmutere, meaning to change from one form into another. An act that changes the form or character or substance or of something. And the synonym to that type of transmutation is transubstantiation. It is like this. An example. When you see Christians would take the bread and the wine and they would consecrate it and say it becomes the representation of the flesh of Christ and the blood of Christ, right? So yeah. These people are energy vampires, and I have some pointers. So yeah, tune in. So the first pointers is energy vampires are gathered in groups for strength or power, but for their targeted feeding source they will manipulate to isolate that specific person to privately have their way. Now, before everything started to boil down, I remember I was invited to perform at this event called Hip Hop One Drop by the same artist Tam Tam. Yeah. Now, she used that opportunity to show me who she really is. And the thing is, when people come to you with hearsay or saying that people said that, some of the time it's what they really want to say. Yeah. So check the levels, check the energy. But she started making some really sly remarks, you know, claiming that others were making those remarks. But yeah, these are the things that they do. They will try to get into close proximity, yeah, to project whatever idea they have of you. And I have some more pointers to elaborate on why that happens. Yeah. So, even with Miss Watson, before I get into this other pointer, being around that woman, right? The mentality, as I said, it's like school children. How they talk about, you know, even fighting. Like, you're that old and you're still trying to fight. Like, I got better things to do, fam. Eh? I talk about timeless, being timeless. But you know, gravity weigh you down, you know. And I'm just saying, like, your giants, them, after a certain age, I bet you just start take it easy. Because that makes sense, you know. But yeah, the other pointer. And this is going to be the last one. And I will go into part 2. So yeah. Energy vampires are toxic people who refuse to change and heal themselves to be whole from within. Now, me being on my journey, you know, I rub shoulders with a lot of people. And they see me as someone that is probably meek or doesn't talk much or just laid back, but really and truly I respect humanity. And to just be ready to impede, you know, into other people's life, I don't see that, you know, as an obligation. No. I've had so many experiences with these people, with these so-called Rastafarians, yeah, and how much of a pretender they are. Because I remember this one lady who, she literally faked being in despair just to get some money to build up the Naya Bengi Center. And the males do it too. You see? Because a lot of money. Even when you see them down on chronics, like them not really support chronics. Chronics not support them toxicity. You see? It's not. Them want you to give them money all the time. You give them money for your cause and them don't put it towards that cause. See? Now, being around Tam Tam, man, she's a perfect example of them little mongrel woman dog there. You know? She see the man them, she just run back at them. Yeah? And you say you're a star. No. That's not how you build value as a woman. Allowing everyone to have access to you. That's not how you keep your value. Truly. Yeah? I don't care what nobody says. Extroverted, introverted. Allowing everyone to have access to you. And truly, you know, I see who you is, Tam Tam. You will go with anybody. Whether it's riding bandwagon or riding dick. Yeah? And you have this artist, I've talked about this artist called Afro. You know? And though we have had, you know, our run-ins, truly, I have some form of respect for her because she has a little bit of truth in her. But one day, this commotion happened where Afro posted something about Tam Tam sucking dick to get her song play on the radio. And I don't know what happened, but for Tam Tam to silence Afro. But they can't do that to me. You see? But yeah. You grew up with Miss Watson. You and Space. And pity you don't know that Miss Watson was trying to even get me to go against Space. Right? She was trying to humiliate her. behind her back. And I was not up with that game. Yeah? But, yeah. Chihuahua Shiba Inu. Y'all need to heal. Truly. Because when I fight me for something that I will fully release, because really and truly, y'all motherfuckers are stuck. Stuck. Yeah? Turn into a pillar of salt. Yo. Let me tell you this. The more good you do, is the more humane you will look. Yeah. And y'all motherfuckers look tired. Tam, you look like functioning depression. You need to rest. Oh yeah. I'm going to part 2. I'm gonna finish it. So tune in.